Good afternoon. My name is Danielle Atkinson. I'm the founding director of Mothering Justice in Michigan. When I became pregnant with my first daughter, I found myself living my dream life, having my dream job, but the only problem was that I didn't have any paid leave. After doing the math, my husband and I realized that I would only really be able to take 4 weeks off without us really falling tremendously behind in our own bills. I went back to work, barely healed from giving birth and not emotionally ready to leave my baby. And going back to work meant searching for care in an unaffordable childcare system. For moms like me, we're stuck between not having enough money to stay at home with our babies and not making enough to pay for childcare to go back to work. I started Mothering Justice, an organization of mothers to work on these issues of personal economy. We've been working with grassroots organizations all around the country to fight for bold solutions to the crisis on a federal level, on the scale of the problem. We're building a national grassroots movement, and in fact, Mothering Justice hosts weekly mama conversations, developing leadership of directly impacted individuals to have bold solutions. We know that Child Care for Working Families Act and the Families Act would be game changers in these areas. How do we work together to get issues that largely affect mothers, like childcare and paid leave, in the forefront of the political conversation, ensuring that they're the top priority for the future Congress and the new administration?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So as you were setting up your question, I was thinking about the fact that after my daughter was born, 4 days after I graduated with my undergraduate degree, I had to go back to work 4 days after that because I could not afford to not work as a single mom. Luckily, I was able to take her with me because she pretty much slept the whole, first 2 months of her life. But those early days and weeks and months are the most important in the lifetime of a child, and I can see that the time I spent with my daughter has made her into the woman she is today. So, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to co-sponsor the Universal Child Care and Early Learning Act with Senator Elizabeth Warren. Yes. Because child care is one of the most expensive things that we undertake. And it's so important to make sure that our children are well cared for when we need to go back to work or for any other reason. I feel like our priorities in this country are all screwed up. Because how much do we spend on private prisons? How much do we spend on incarcerating people and taking people down the wrong path instead of lifting them up in their early years when early learning is the most important? I volunteered at my daughter's preschool so that I could get a discount on tuition because it was that important to me. So I swept and mopped floors and pulled weeds in the playground and cleaned toilets in the preschool because I just felt that was the most important thing that I could do for her at the time. So we need to invest in our children's early learning. Yes, one of the most important things. And of course, we need to make sure that our mothers have an opportunity to take the time they need in order to take care of their children. So look, as a single mom, it's not easy. I know what it's like to be on food stamps. I know what it's like to piece together health care. I got my health care at Planned Parenthood during the time I was in law school because it was affordable and accessible. But we, this administration has worked overtime to cut programs like that help working families to succeed, and it's really time that we start investing in our kids. Elizabeth Warren's plan is to tax 2 cents on everything over $50 million. Yeah. Yep. Right? I think if you make $50 million, you can afford that. So, so that's how we pay for the things that are important to our country and the future of our children and our country.